Aloha, my name is Douglas Hoffman, and I live in Maui, Hawaii. I'm a photographic artist, and I'm very happy to have donated images for use in this project. I'm glad to support the Dr. Jane Goodall Institute and the Humane Society International. I really respect the fact they're trying to raise awareness on such a global issue that is so important. Sharks, I believe, about 70 million sharks a year are killed for shark fin soup. That means these animals are killed and only their fin is harvested. The rest of the shark is thrown overboard. This is a horrific waste of resource, and this behavior should stop. I'm not condoning or discondoning or not agreeing or saying that shark fin soup has or has no place in society. I respect cultures around the world. But I think as part of the world, I can speak that if we're going to harvest an animal, we should harvest all of it. It's only fair. The American Indian, when they killed a buffalo, they used the bones and the rawhide and the meat. So what I'm saying is, if we have to have shark fin soup in the world, the fishermen should be required to harvest the whole animal. Personally, I cannot condone shark fin soup. I do not agree with it. But that's just me. I do respect other cultures, and I want it to be known, but they should be fished for responsibly. Sharks are the apex predators of the sea. Without them in the ocean, the balance of how things works changes, and as a result, everything dies. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So we really need to start thinking about these animals as resources for our planet, for our food supply, for future fisheries. Before I get too far into it, I'd like to thank the Dr. Jane Goodall Institute for this opportunity, as well as for the Humane Society International. I love these guys. They're really good at sharing education and raising awareness. There are several places I go around in the world to see sharks and to photograph them. My favorite is in Hawaii, of course, because I don't have to travel too far. What I look for is groups of pilot whales, and usually about a mile behind them is an oceanic white-tip shark. There could be one, two, or three. I've only seen them in small groups. And these are pelagic shark, a large predator. I guess they're third or fourth on the danger list of sharks, but in the water they're very graceful to see and to watch. It'd be a shame if they were put into extinction. In Fiji, they have organized shark feeds, and while I don't necessarily condone behaviors that change, while I don't condone activities that change the behavior of an animal, I have been educated a little bit to understand that sharks for 200 million years eat primarily at night, and that when offered a snack during the day or a tease during the day, it's just basically a convenient food like going for a quick drink, a soft drink, and it's not really changing the shark's behavior. On the positive side, these organizations that are doing these shark feeds, they've set up 30-mile fish reserves where no fishing can take place. So the reef is thriving on all levels, sharks and all fish and the corals. They also pay the community $20 every time a diver gets on the boat to dive in this area to support those communities where fishing is not taking place. They are using people from the communities to work on the dive boats and in the dive organizations and in the hotels so that they're supporting the entire community. I've been underwater there, and I haven't seen the crazy cacophony one would expect. It's really kind of surreal. You're underwater, they feed some fish heads, small fish heads, and the crunching sound from the jacks draws in the sharks to say, ooh, what's going on? And they cruise around and they watch. It's not like they necessarily just take huge fish and go, here, sharky, sharky. At some point they do feed a few big pieces of fish, don't get me wrong, to the sharks, but it's certainly not just about that. In the times that I've done it, I've actually tried to stay away from the actual feeding and watch the behavior on the peripheral, on the horizon. It's been quite entertaining to see them in their natural environment, noticing their behavior and their posturing. Another area that I like to see sharks is out in the blue, in the wild. I've taken the opportunity in Hawaii and in Tonga to jump in the water at fishing buoys just to see what comes up from the deep, some requiem sharks, and it's quite fascinating and quite fun to see what comes up. I guess what I'd like for people to come away with who look at the exhibit and see sharks in their natural environment is to gain an understanding. From looking through the pictures, I hope they evoke an emotional response and people take a moment to think, well, maybe I don't need to eat shark fin soup. Maybe I want to start protecting the environment, and I would like for that to happen. Hopefully, the images that I create are like the icing on the cake. To that, I'm trying to say, uh, as an artist, I try to create images that evoke an emotional response. When my images are used in conjunction with the Dr. Jane Goodall Institute and the Humane Society International, it's like icing on the cake. These organizations are very eloquent and good at increasing awareness on these issues. And when my photographs are with and alongside these efforts, it really, really makes people think. And that's what we're looking for. So thank you very much for this opportunity. Aloha and mahalo.